Hey everybody, it's Greg back here. In this video, we're going to have a closer look at what I feel is the best corrective video LUT for your video. So in this video, we're going to have a look at the Leeming Lut Pro. So make sure you stick around to the end too, because I'm going to go over some color grading tips as well. All right, let's get right into the video. All right, in this video, I'm going to give you some color grading tips. I'm also going to show you how to apply the Leeming Lut Pro. Now, if you're not familiar with the Leeming Lut Pro, you can find out more information on his website. It's from Paul Leeming. I'll put that in the description box below. You can check that out after the video. One thing I want to pass on is this is not a sponsored video. I'm not affiliated with Leeming Lut Pro at all, and I'm not making any money from this video. I got this about 1.5 years ago, and I really like it, and I use it on all of my videos where I shoot vlog. And you can also use this on the Panasonic, the Sony, the Blackmagic, DJI. So make sure you check this out after you watch this video. Also too, at the end of this video, I'll give you some tips on how to install it, and also how to shoot this in camera. So in-camera tips to get the most out of your footage. All right, let's get to the tutorial. And then at the end, what I'll do is I'll have these clips from Iceland play in full time or real time at 4K. And this LUT has done amazing stuff to this footage, because watch the difference. So what I like to do, I'm in Adobe Premiere Pro. You can also use this in Final Cut or DaVinci Resolve. I just happen to be using Adobe Premiere Pro right now. Now, I'm on the editing screen right now, and I've applied adjustment layer over top all of these clips that you can see on the bottom. Now, all you have to do is apply the LUT to the adjustment layer and then make little tweaks to your footage below, and I'll show you how to make those tweaks. So that's what it looks like right out of camera. Very flat looking. I shot this on a Panasonic GH5 in V-LogL, although I'm kind of preferring HLG right now as a picture profile, but I shot this in V-LogL. If I could go back, I'd probably do HLG next time. But anyway, that's the difference. That's after, that's before, that's after. But you also have to make a few tweaks if you didn't get it 100% in camera, and I'll show you how to do that. So we're going to go to the Color tab. So Adobe Premiere, go to the Color tab at the top. You can see on the right we have Lumetri Color. We have a whole panel here to make some adjustments. We also have some scopes. I'll walk you through how to set up these scopes in case you don't have this. So we're on the adjustment layer. Now, all I do with this adjustment layer is apply the LUT. So what will happen, you drop a new adjustment layer, it'll say none right there. Once you've installed the Leeming Lut, you look for it here, and I say Leeming Lut Pro, Panasonic V-LogL, boom, and then I have some color, some dynamic range. Now for each clip, you're probably going to have to make slight adjustments to maybe the white balance or to the exposure. So in order to help you do that, if you go to the Lumetri Scopes tab up here in the upper left, then you can apply different scopes here, and you can use these to help you make these adjustments. Now, if you don't see this, you might be on effects controls or audio clip. Make sure you're on Lumetri Scopes. And then if you don't see these scopes, go to the little wrench here where it says settings. If you click on that, you can see we have our vector scope, YUV, my parade, RGB parade, and my RGB waveform. That's what I'm using right now. You can apply more if you'd like, but I think that works for me pretty much. So I'll show you what it looks like. So like I said, I've got the adjustment layer, that's got the LUT on it, and then I make individual tweaks to each clip so they all blend together. Just minor things like exposure, if I didn't get the exposure right in camera, or the white balance, and so on. If you find I'm talking too fast, try to listen faster, and if that doesn't work, you can always watch this video again. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm on this clip right here, but you can see I have a number of different clips that aren't really playing in real time because this is 4K footage and I've got a 5-year-old computer. So what I'm going to do is I'll just make these adjustments so you can see them, and then I'll play all of these clips together in real time at the end of this video. So let's say, for example, we take just any shot from this right here. And so you can see we've got the white, we've got the green, and we'll just pick any one of them. It doesn't really matter what one we pick right here. Here's another shot here where we've got lots of different colors and things like that. So what I'll do is I'll reset it up here. If you go up to the top where it says reset effect, I'm on this clip. I'm going to reset it. So you can see when I shot it, if you look to the left, I shot it slightly underexposed to preserve the highlights. But now that I've got it in my editor, I want to make sure most range so I get the most out of my shot. So I don't want this to flatten out. If you see, if I go too far, it gets flat at the top. I want to retain all of that dynamic range. So I brought my exposure up to 4. And then if you look at the bottom, I'm not quite hitting the 0 line. So I'm going to go to the blacks and I'm going to say -20. And I'm going to bring that down. Also, I might just add a little contrast to taste. Now, it's a good idea to shoot a gray card. Now, if you don't have a gray card, you can try to find something gray in your image or maybe something white. and you can use the white balance selector tool if you feel like your white balance is off. I shot this at 5600 Kelvin during the day, which is usually pretty close. So if you don't have a gray card, you could probably get away with that. And so that's what I did in this case. But like I said, you can always use your white balance tool. You can find something white in the image, say like this person's jacket here. You could click on that. You can see it made a small tweak to that. So minus 1.7, 1.1. If I like the way that looks, then I can repeat that here. So I can go minus 1.7, and then I think we had 1.1. So for these clips, because they're the same scene, I can get that white balance dialed in a little bit better. Also, I can apply that to this shot here. So what was it? Minus 1.7, 1.7. So I'm just walking you through how I would correct my footage. And then 1.1. I think that's a pretty accurate white balance, actually. And then we got one more shot here, and we'll do it again. Minus 1.7, and then 1.1. What probably would have been smarter would be to make all these adjustments before I cut the clip up. I didn't do that, so I have to do it to each one. But if you had all this in, say, one take, then you wouldn't have to make all those adjustments. So you can see here, I've already gone ahead as these clips, as I scroll through. If I go onto this one, you can see I've got the exposure set, but I don't have my contrast. So I can add my contrast now. I could add my blacks here, minus 20. And then if you want to boost the saturation, so if you look here, if you're hitting the outside of the vector scope, then you're probably oversaturated. But I could probably boost the saturation slightly to say 105 right there. I could go to the creative tab. I could sharpen it if I wanted to. I could throw a 5 on there. I could take some blue and put it in the shadows. I can do different things. I can work with curves. I don't want to go too deep into that, but we'll go back to the basic corrections there. But you can see if I click this on and off, these are the corrections to the clip. So that's the LUT applied, and then I make a few tweaks and just get more dynamic range, a little bit more color. But really, the color is so accurate now. It's like this footage is starting to look like what it looked like when I was there to me with this new LUT. So I'm pretty impressed with it. So hopefully that's enough tips for you to really correct your own footage. Now let's refer to this guide before we get to the clip in real time. So make sure you stick around that to see that in real time. So when you purchase this, you're going to get an installation guide. So this will show you how to install it if you're using DaVinci or Adobe Premiere or Final Cut. And then there's the sort of setup guide for shooting your video. So whether you're using a Blackmagic camera, a Sony camera, a Panasonic camera, there's going to be tips for each LUT. So if you're shooting in V-Log, how to set up your camera, Cine D, HLG, you'll want to follow these settings so that when you bring your footage in to your editor, that you just have to make minor tweaks like I am right now, and then you're going to get really great looking footage, and it's going to make everything easier. So stick around. We're going to watch this clip in full time. This is with the Leeming Lut and then the tweaks like I just showed you how to make them. Again, if I was talking too fast, just rewind this video, watch how I have my scope set up, and just watch those tips again.
We got everything we need right here. Wine and burning chemistry. You and me alone. You and me alone. Inside of our embassy. Everything we need right here. Make me sing along. Sing along. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. I never thought I'd ever be stuck by you. Oh, watch me. Me dancing in the colors, lightning, blowing up a thunder, wash it over me. Yeah, we got everything we need right here.
All right, thanks for watching this video. If you're new here, make sure you click on the subscribe button. Also hit that bell notification to get email updates for my weekly video. Now, if you found this video helpful, give me a thumbs up. And also, if you have any comments or questions, you can post them down below. All right, thanks again for watching this video. It's Greg back to here, and I'll see you in the next one.